A troll American.
I can't do this for content. Hey, it's Josephine from the Pointe Shop. Welcome to my favorite series, the Pointe Shoe Hacks. I feel like I can never get sick of this series, so watch it with me. If you love me, please like it. How to prep your pointe shoes. I'm scared. Wait, is this a brand new pointe shoe? I can't. Warm up the shoe? This is a joke, right? This is a joke. Wet the shoe. I can't do this for content. I can't. I feel like ballerina hack. Oh, I have seen this. You poor thing. Okay, that is a gnarly bruised toenail. So that's just to numb the area so that you don't feel the pain anymore. Oh, that is definitely, that makes me very sad. Break in silver pointe shoes with me. Silver! This is like shiny. Oh, so maybe they had the satin that's already silver. Sometimes you have to like paint it, and when you paint it, it's more matte. Okay, 3/4 shank. Crunchy. So the glue that Freed uses is proprietary. So it has this beautiful crunch when you break the shoe. It's a little different than any other glue that I know from any other company. So this is very typical. You break the shank a little bit so that it molds to your arch, and then you're gluing the box to give you all the support from the tip of the box. So a lot of professional dancers, they like to get all of the support from the tip rather than the shank, because the shank, you want it to mold, you want it to feel good. A lot of dancers that are in training, if you do this, you'll break the shoe too quickly, or if you don't have enough support in the shoe, you'll just go right over. Ooh, it's Yasmin. If you scroll back all the way to our pandemic pointe shoe hack videos, I did a video with her and I was just so mesmerized because she is just so stunning in person, and just her aura, everything about her is just so beautiful and elegant. And I was like, I feel like
a troll American.
This is what I used to do to my tights before a performance, but now I don't need to cut them anymore. Block Free Flex tights come pre-cut and sealed at the seams, so that avoids the ladders running up my tights that would happen when I cut them myself. They also have exposure to the skin in all the right places. The opening on the back of the heel helps with grip, so there is less risk of the back of your pointe shoes slipping off your heels,
yes,
which is always a fear of mine. If you're worried about the skin showing too much, I have a solution for that. I use Skin Color or Pink Pancake to cover up the back of my heel.
Oh, wow.
So from far, you wouldn't see a thing.
Wow. Yasmin actually wears block pointe shoes, and it's a custom shoe that has a very flat outsole so that she can stand very flat. This is actually brilliant because this cut is very common with a lot of professional dancers, because when they're in class, they usually roll up their tights or don't wear tights at all so that their feet can grip onto the shoes a little bit better. So when you have to wear tights on stage, a lot of dancers don't like the feeling of it being slippery inside the pointe shoes, so they cut off the tights so that they can have a little bit more grip, and also the heel of the tights so that the shoe can stay on a little bit better, because shoes hold on to bare skin a lot better than tights, obviously. This is so brilliant. I didn't even know that they had tights like this. Asking what ballerinas wear in their pointe shoes. It's changed over the last decade. I feel like professional dancers a decade ago or even 2 decades ago, they used to wear nothing, but now a lot of dancers are wearing toe pads and spacers and other things like that.
Dash, what do you put in your pointe shoes?
My taped corns, a toe spacer, a little toe sleeve, and a Mankey
Oh,
toe pad.
that is not a toe pad.
It is. It's magic, I swear.
Dancers love ripped up toe pads. See, same tights that we just talked about. She cut her tights. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that white pointe shoe. See, everyone has a different combination of things. Everyone's feet are very different. You need different padding options for different types of feet, and even your left and your right are different. It's just a journey of figuring out what padding options make sense for you, and even with different shoes, you may need different padding options. I love talking to dancers about this. Oh, okay. So this is to make your instep look a little bit higher. So technically, even though they call it farches, it's not literally your arch. The arch is on the bottom of your foot. That's your instep, which is gorgeous. It makes your lines look a little bit more beautiful. It's like an illusion. It's purely aesthetic, obviously. Oh. Wow, and look at that darning job. This is a Gainer Minden. A lot of people don't actually darn it because it's really difficult to do. But if you want a little bit more support, do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Oh, 3/4ing the pointe shoes. Yes, mark where your arch breaks, exactly. She must actually have a disappearing heel because it looks like the shank is a little bit longer Oh my gosh, how do you prep your pointe shoes with those nails? Okay, so she actually 3/4'd a gainer minden, which is also something that the manufacturer doesn't want you to do. They don't want you to break the shank. They don't want you to cut the shank. They don't want you to darn the shoe because it's supposed to be like a sew and go type of shoe. But again, do what you gotta do. If it works for you, it works for you. The pointe shoes are kind of there to serve you, and there's no right or wrong answer. Ooh. Pointe shoe factories. Okay, so the pointe shoes are going into the oven and they're gonna be baked inside there. But isn't it so pretty? Oh, I can't. That was it. I wanna see more. It was too short. I wanna see the whole thing. Did you know ballet dancers carry around hammers? Yes, hammers, lighter, lots of scary things. If you ever rob a ballet dancer, you're gonna find some fun things in there.
My beloved hammer. You think ballerinas are delicate? But then you see us with these hammers and you might think otherwise.
So that's to sometimes flatten the shoe, and it's also quieter.
That's already better compared to this.
Looks like a block elegance. So a lot of the modern pointe shoes are coming out with options that are a little bit quieter. So they put a little bit of padding underneath the pleats. That's where you land the jumps. And usually that's where the dancers will hammer it out. But a lot of pointe shoes now have that slight padding underneath, so it is quieter. So pointe shoes before class with me. Block heritage. Okay, it looks like it's a 3/4 shank. She uses dental floss to sew her ribbons and elastic. It looks like she's already prepped it. So this tape is so that the shank doesn't cut into your foot. So a block heritage is considered a full shank, but it's quite soft. So I'd say that it's like a soft to medium shank. Sometimes when that happens, the shoe breaks a little bit lower. So if you 3/4 the shank before, it kind of teaches the shank where to break, and it gives you a little bit higher break. Didn't make it. I like how there's two little. If you're sewing before class, you're trying to just get it done as soon as possible. So there's usually just like 2 or 3 stitches on there. Darning. There are different ways to do this. It looks like she's just using pointe shoe thread. Pointe shoe thread is kind of like a wax thread, like dental floss. So it's a little bit thicker than your normal thread and needle. A little bit goes a long way. Oh, wow. Fully darned platform using a chain stitch. That's really smart to use that tool to pull the needle. Okay, so they darned all around. So it really just depends on the reason why you darn. Some people will darn to make the platform last a little bit longer. Some people will darn to have that edge so that it kind of pushes you to the center of the platform. This one looks like they're not really interested in putting you into the middle of the platform. It's a little bit more about making the platform last a little longer. Barefoot in her pointe shoes. Paris Opera first soloist. Toe pads are forbidden. They say you don't feel your feet if you wear toe pads. Yes, but pointe shoes are symmetrical and your feet are asymmetrical. So there's a lot of negative spaces. Padding helps to kind of even out those hot spots and negative spaces so that you can dance a little bit more comfortably. If you're able to dance bare feet, the less padding you have between your feet and your pointe shoes, the more it's going to be easier to articulate through your feet.
It's a rule only for the school,
Okay.
but then you get used to it.
Yeah.
There were no wool left, like we couldn't find it anywhere. And so I did like whole swan lake without anything in my shoe, and I didn't have any pain. So since then, I thought, well, I can do it without, so.
Wow.
Yeah, and Swan Lake too. That's wild. That's a tough ballet. Skin sensitivity is a factor in pointe shoe fitting though. So some dancers, just some people in general, have more sensitive skin than others. So it's a little bit more difficult for them to build up callus. Things hurt a little bit more. Things break a little bit easier. So it is tougher for people with sensitive skin. But if you're one of the few people that can do this, it is the most optimal to dance in, but I think it's unnecessary to suffer through this much. I'm a very nice pointe shoe fitter. I will give you whatever you need. Okay, with that was pointe shoe hacks. I love talking about pointe shoes. I love seeing what different dancers do to their pointe shoes. If you love this series, continue to tag us in these videos. I'll see you guys later.